Hi students, in this video I am going to explain multiple choice questions from the chapter Motion in a Straight Line. Let's move on to the first question. First question, a boy moves on a circular distance of radius r starting from a point A. He moves to a point B which is on the other end of the diameter AB. The ratio of the distance travelled to the displacement made by him is, options are A pi by 2, B pi, C 2 pi, D 4 pi. So in this question you have to find the ratio of distance travelled to the displacement. Here boy moves on a circular distance of radius r. The boy starts from point A and moves to point B. The distance from A to B makes diameter. So here distance travelled means it is a total path covered by boy. In this case, half of the circumference, that gives the distance travelled by the boy, and displacement means it is a change in position, or we can say it is the shortest distance between initial and final position. So diameter, which gives a value of displacement. So we can find the ratio, that is distance by displacement, which is equal to, distance means total path covered by, that is half of the circumference, that is 2 pi r, formula for circumference 2 pi r. So half of this, so 2 pi r by 2 divided by displacement. Here displacement, that is the length of diameter, which is 2 into r, means 2 times radius. So while simplifying we get here 2 gets cancels, pi r, then divide by 2r, which is equal to, while simplifying this r gets cancels, remaining is pi by 2. So the answer is option A, pi by 2. Next question. Second question. A boy starts from a point A, travels to a point B at a distance of 3 km from A and returns to A. If he takes 2 hours to do so, his speed is, options are, option A 3 km per hour, option B 0, option C 2 km per hour, option D 1.5 km per hour. In this question you have to find speed. You know the formula for speed, that is speed which is equal to distance travelled by time taken. Here in this question a boy starts from point A, then goes to point B, then again return back to point A. In this case the total distance travelled by a boy is, here while moving from A to B distance is 3 km, and while moving from B to A again 3 km. So total distance 3 plus 3, and time taken for this path 2 hours. If he takes 2 hours to do so, so answer is speed which is equal to distance travelled by time taken. Here distance travelled is 3 plus 3, from A to B distance is 3, then B to A again same distance, that is 3 plus 3 divided by time taken for this path 2 hours, so divide by 2, which is equal to 6 by 2. While simplifying you get 3 km per hour. So the answer is option A, 3 km per hour. Third question. A man leaves home for a cycle ride and comes back home after an half an hour Right, covering a distance of 1 kilometer. What is the average velocity of the ride? Options are A 10 kilometer per second, option B half kilometer per second, option C 2 kilometer per second, option D 0. Here you have to find average velocity. You know the formula for average velocity, which is change in position by change in time, or you can say displacement by time. In this question, a man leaves home for a cycle ride and comes back home. So here initial and final position is same. So you get displacement as 0 because initial and final position same, so that change in position becomes 0. So if change in position becomes 0 means you get average velocity also 0. So the answer is option D 0. Fourth question. The velocity of a body depends on time according to the equation v is equal to 20 plus 0.1 t square. Then the body is undergoing dash. Options are A. Uniform acceleration, option B. Uniform retardation, option C. Non-uniform acceleration, option D. Zero acceleration. Here the question, the velocity of a body depends on time according to the equation. So here equation of velocity is given, that is v is equal to 20 plus 0.1 t square. So here the answers options are given in acceleration. So first you find acceleration using this equation. You know the formula for acceleration, that is a is equal to dv by dt, means differential coefficient of v with respect to time. Acceleration which is equal to dv by dt means you have to differentiate this velocity with respect to time. So differentiation, you know the formula for differentiation of x to the power n with respect to x. That formula you have to use to differentiate this t square term. So differentiate dv by dt, which is equal to differentiation of this equation. So in this equation, differentiation of 20 becomes 0. Remaining is differentiation of this 0.1 t square. So differentiation of t square becomes 0.1 into t square. Differentiation of t square becomes 2 into t to the power 2 minus 1, means you get t to the power 1. So you get acceleration as 0.2 into t. So here acceleration, you get the acceleration equation as 0.2 into t. As it depends on time t, this acceleration is non-uniform because as time varies, this acceleration also varies. So answer is option C, non-uniform acceleration. Fifth question. The numerical ratio of displacement to distance for a moving object is, options are option A equal to or less than 1, option B always equal to 1, option C always less than 1, option D always more than 1. Here the ratio of displacement to distance for a moving object. For a given path, this ratio displacement to distance, that is equal to 1 or less than 1, but it should not more than 1. So the answer is option A, equal to or less than 1. Next question, sixth question. Which of the following can be 0 when a particle is in motion for some time? Options are A. Displacement, B. Distance, C. Speed, D. None of these. When a particle is in motion means there is distance and speed. Means there should be distance and speed. When a particle is in motion means there should be distance and speed. But displacement can be zero. Only the term displacement, it can be zero. So the answer is option A, displacement. Seventh question. A train covers the first half of the distance between two stations at a speed of 40 km per hour and the other half at 60 km per hour. Then its average speed is, options are A. 50 km per hour, B. 48 km per hour, C. 52 km per hour, D. 100 km per hour. Here you have to find average speed. You know the formula for average speed, that is total distance traveled divided by total time taken. Let x be the distance between two stations. Here the train covers first half of the distance with the speed of 40 km per hour and second half with the speed of 60 km per hour. So the average speed, which is equal to total distance by total time. Here total distance, which is equal to, for the first half, x by 2. For the second half, the distance is x by 2. So the total distance, that is x by 2 plus x by 2 divided by total time taken. First, time taken for the first half of the distance. So you can find the time using this formula. Speed is equal to distance by time. Time is equal to, while rearranging this, you get time is equal to distance by speed. So from that you get time for the first half, that is distance by speed, which is x by 2 divided by 40 km per hour speed. That is for the time of first half of the distance. Next, time for the second half of the distance, which is x by 2 divided by 60. So this gives the time for second half of the distance, which is equal to x divided by 5x divided by 120 into 2. While simplifying, you get 48 km per hour. So the answer is option B, 48 km per hour. Next question, 8th question. Speedometer of an automobile measures, options are A. average speed, option B. acceleration, option C. instantaneous speed, option D. instantaneous velocity. Speedometer does not indicate direction of motion, so it cannot measure instantaneous velocity. It measures only instantaneous speed. So the answer is option C, instantaneous speed. Next question, 9th question. The magnitude of average velocity is equal to the average speed when a particle moves. Options are A. on a curved road, option B. with constant acceleration, option C. with constant retardation, and option D. in the same direction. The magnitude of average velocity is equal to average speed. Means velocity and speed are equal. That is only when if the particles move in the same direction. If the direction is same, then average velocity and average speed become equal. So the answer is option D, in the same direction. 10th question. Which of the following graphs gives the equation x is equal to v naught t plus half a t square? Graphs are so from this equation x is equal to v naught t plus half a t square. This is for the particle which is having a uniform, which is moving with the uniform acceleration of a and with the initial velocity v naught and in a time of t. So in the first graph, x varies with time. Object which covers equal distance in equal intervals of time. So you get uniform acceleration, not uniform as in uniform velocity. So if there is uniform velocity means there is no acceleration. So first graph is wrong because in this equation there is a acceleration term a. So first graph is wrong. Then you have to choose the correct one out of these three, second, third and fourth. So here third one is also wrong because here this is a velocity time graph. Here velocity v naught that remains same as time varies. So here also acceleration is 0. So this is third graph also not suitable. So next graph 2 and 4. Second and fourth graph. So these are same. These two graphs are same. That object moves with initial velocity of v naught and that is varies means velocity varies with time. So the answer is option B, both 2 and 4. Next, 11th question. Which of the following is a one-dimensional motion? Options are A. Motion of train running on a straight track. Option B. Motion of satellite. Option C. Motion of air particle. Option D. Motion of snake. So here the correct answer is A. Motion of train running on a straight track. Here this is a one-dimensional motion of train running on a straight track. So here we need only one axis to indicate the position of train. So first option A, it is a one-dimensional motion, but option B, so here motion of satellite. So here the satellite is moving, but we can to find the position of satellite we need three axes. So it is a motion of satellite. It is a three-dimensional motion. And in option C, motion of air particle. So here also to specify the position of air particle we need three axes. So this is also motion of air particle. It is also a three-dimensional motion. There three axes changes with time. And option D, motion of snake. So that motion of snake, it is a two-dimensional because there two coordinate changes with time. So the answer is option A. Next question, 12th question. Acceleration of a particle changes when option A, speed changes. Option B, magnitude of velocity changes. Option C, direction of velocity changes. And option D, none of these. So here acceleration means it is a change in velocity by time taken. So acceleration of a particle changes only when the magnitude of velocity changes. So the answer is option B. 13th question. Which of the following is not possible for a body in uniform motion. Options are, first one, option A, graph of displacement versus time. So there line is straight, that is parallel to time axis, and option B, in there you have a straight line in this displacement versus time graph. The straight line is parallel to displacement axis. And option C, both A and B. See, in this both A and B, both graph. And option D, none of the above. Here the question is, which of the following is not possible for a body in uniform motion? When an object is in motion, there should be a change in position. But in first graph, here position does not change, means displacement does not change with the time, means this is not possible. And in the second option, so in that also displacement changes but time remains same. For uniform motion, object covers equal distances or displacements in equal intervals of time. So these both are not possible. So option C, both A and B. So the answer is option C, both A and B. Both graphs A and B are not possible. Next question, 14th question. A particle moves with a uniform velocity. The option which is true about the motion of particle is dash. Options are, acceleration is 0. Option B, speed is 0. Option C, speed may be variable. Option D, acceleration is opposite to velocity. Here, a particle moves with a uniform velocity. The option which is true about the motion of particles is option A, that is acceleration is 0. When the object is moving in a uniform velocity means their acceleration is 0 because there is no change in velocity. So this is true, acceleration is 0. Option A is true. A is true. Option B, speed is 0. This is not true. Speed may be variable. This is also not true. Option D, acceleration is opposite to velocity. This is also not true. So the answer is option A. 15th question. The distance traveled by a body is directly proportional to the time taken. Its speed, options are, remains constant. Option B, decreases. Option C, increases. Option D, becomes 0. The distance traveled by a body is directly proportional to time taken. Its speed remains constant. If distance is directly proportional to time, then the speed remains constant because speed is equal to distance by time. If distance is proportional to time means the speed remains constant. So the answer is option A. Next, 16th question. The slope of velocity time graph for motion with uniform velocity is equal to option A 0, option B final velocity, option C initial velocity, option D none of these. Here, slope of velocity time graph for motion with uniform velocity. So, velocity time graph for uniform velocity. So, there you get velocity time graph as straight line that is parallel to time axis. So, in that case, you get slope as 0 because there is no change in y coordinate because it is a graph is straight line parallel to time axis. So the answer is option A, 0. 17th question. If the options given dash is an object that is said to be in motion. Options are A. A train moving on a railway track with respect to track. Option B. A boy traveling in a train with respect to train. C. A man riding a motorcycle with respect to motorcycle. D. A lady riding a bicycle with respect to bicycle. By definition, a body is said to be in motion if it changes its position with respect to its surroundings with the passage of time. While the railway track is stationary, the train moves relative to it. Hence, it is said to be in motion. In the other options, a boy, a man, a lady are stationary with respect to train, motorcycle or bicycle respectively. However, the train, motorcycle, bicycle are in motion by themselves with respect to the surroundings. So, the answer is option A. 18th question. A body travels 5 km due north and 5 km due south. The distance and displacement traversed are dash and dash. Options are A. 10 km, 0 km. Option B. 0 km, 10 km. Option C. 5 km, 0 km. Option D. 0 km, 5 km. A body travels 5 km due north and 5 km due south. So the distance is total 5 km plus 5 km become 10, and displacement, that is 0, because body travels 5 km due north and 5 km due south. So initial and final position become same. So displacement become 0. So the answer is option A, 10 km, 0 km. Distance is 10 km and displacement is 0 km. 19th question. The displacement of a particle is given by x is equal to t square minus 2t meter. Which of the following regarding its instantaneous velocity is true? Options are A. Velocity at t equal to 2 seconds is greater than that at t equal to 3 seconds. Option B. Velocity at t equal to 5 seconds is equal to that at t equal to 3 seconds. Option C. Velocity always increases with time. And option D. Velocity first decreases and then increases. Here in this question, displacement of a particle which is given in the form of equation, that is x of t which is equal to t square minus 2t. So which of the following options regarding its instantaneous velocity is true? So here first you need to find instantaneous velocity for different time. So first, for the calculation of instantaneous velocity, first you have to use the formula, that is dx by dt, instantaneous velocity which is equal to dx by dt. So means you have to differentiate this equation, t square minus 2t. So which become differentiation of t square minus 2t, that is equal to differentiation of t square become 2 into t and differentiation of 2t become minus 2. So you get equation as 2 into t minus 1. So next, as you change the time, t equal to 0 second, t equal to 1 second, t equal to 2 second, t equal to 4 second, t equal to 5 second. As you substitute the values of t from 0 to 5, you get the values of instantaneous velocities. So here are the values of instantaneous velocity. By observing these, you conclude that velocity of particle always increases with time. So the answer is option C, increases with time. Velocity increases with time. 20th question. The position x of a particle varies with time as x is equal to at square minus bt cube. The acceleration at time t of the particle will be equal to 0, where t is equal to, options are A 2a by 3b, option B a by b, option C a by 3b, option D 0. Here position of particle that varies with time and it is given in the form of equation, that is x is equal to at square minus bt cube. Here first you need to find velocity. Velocity which is equal to dx by dt means differentiation of x with respect to time. You know the formula for differentiation, that is dx to the power n with respect to, means differentiation of x to the power n with respect to x, which is equal to n into x to the power n minus 1. Using this formula, you have to differentiate this equation x is equal to at square minus bt cube. Then you get the value of velocity v is equal to dx by dt, which is equal to differentiation of at square become a into 2 into t to the power 2 minus 1, that become 2at minus this minus bt cube, differentiation of bt cube, which gives 3 into b into t to the power 3 minus 1, that gives b 3 t square. So next, using this equation, using this velocity equation, next you have to find acceleration. A is equal to dv by dt. Instantaneous acceleration means it is a differential coefficient of velocity with respect to time. So here you know the equation of velocity. Differentiate this equation 2at minus 3bt square with respect to time. So while differentiating, this 280 become 2a, differentiation of 280, that is 2 into a into t to the power 1 minus 1. So t to the power 0, t to the power 0 means 1, so you get differentiation of 280 as 2 into a minus differentiation of 3bt square, so which gives 3 into b into differentiation of t square, that is 2 into t to the power 2 minus 1 means 2 t to the power 1. So while multiplying that 2t into this 3b, which gives 6b into t. So acceleration equation you got it as 2a minus 6b t. So in this question they said the acceleration at time t of a particle will be equal to 0. So next, equate this equation to 0. 2a minus 6bt, which is equal to 0. So while simplifying this, you get take this minus 6bt into other side, then it become plus. So 2a which is equal to 6bt, then t is equal to, here you need to find time, equation of time. So rearrange this and find t. You get it as t is equal to 2a divided by 6b. While simplifying, you get a by 3b. So the answer is option C, a by 3b.